everyone, it's Imogen and welcome back to Colouring Kids. In today's video I wanted to share a flip through of the brand new book by Eriy, which is called Beyond the World Fairy Tale Colouring Book. So this only came out at the beginning of December, I believe, and I actually pre-ordered it from a seller called Chill and Sarah on Etsy. And it was shipped really quickly. I did order it a few days before it was released. So yeah, it shipped really quickly, and then due to a few issues with Brexit and going through the Eurotunnel, there was a bit of traffic disruption there. So initially it was actually going to arrive within about a week and a half or so, which is really fast. It was coming from Japan. And then due to that, it ended up coming a couple of days ago. It's now the 12th of January. So, you know, it still was relatively quick, especially with COVID still going on. So I'm really happy to have it now and share a flip through with you. This, as I said, is her brand new book. It is very different to her Tracing Around the World books. It's got the normal line art with the darker line art. It's still not black. It's more of a dark grey, but yeah, we'll get into that when I show you the images inside. So this book is exactly the same size as her Romantic Country books. So this kind of still goes in with the theme of the Romantic Country books, but it's slightly different because it's not in that series. It's gone a bit away from that. I also apologise if the lighting isn't quite as good as it usually is. I'm filming a tiny bit later than usual, but I hope it's still all right. And as you can see, the binding is slightly different. Obviously this is the Japanese version, whereas this is the English, so you know there are differences there. One major difference is the paper quality. This paper is more of a cardstock and it's only slightly off-white. I love this paper. Personally, I prefer it to the Romantic Country books. It has got a bit more tooth to it, whereas this Romantic Country paper is more of a cream colour. It's a bit smoother and a bit thinner as well. So there are differences there, and you can get the Japanese versions of all the English books as well. So if paper is something that's really important to you and you want to use watercolours more easily and put, you know, more water on the paper, then, you know, personally I would go for the Japanese editions. As I said, I did get this on Etsy, and you can't get this at the moment on Amazon. So if you want the Japanese versions, the best place to go is Etsy. So let's just get started. So this does have a dust jacket, and we have this lovely kind of brown craft paper card with one of the illustrations on it. This is really, really thick card. It's absolutely amazing. You could absolutely use markers on here without worrying about bleed through, probably. Because this is kind of a toned tan type paper, I imagine pencils like Prismacolors would jump off the page really well. And, you know, because they're quite opaque, that would work really well. So you could give that a try. So firstly, here we have kind of an introduction page. I don't know what this reads yet. I will have to look on it on Google Translate. But this is kind of just the introduction page. I believe that this still has Manon, who is the girl here, and it still kind of goes through her fairy tales. I think the kind of idea is that she's drawn this fairy tale book, I think. So yeah. It's a lovely introduction page. It's absolutely gorgeous. And then here we have a bit of information about each of the pages, which I think is a really good idea because of these thumbnails. You could tick them off when you've done them. You get to know exactly what the fairy tale is. And there are a couple obscure ones that I don't know. So it would be really good to search them up and see. And you can kind of see they go in mini chapters in a way. I think that obviously means the different fairy tales. So yeah, you get a few pages of those, and then we get straight into the illustrations. So I really like these pages that are quite central, and then you just have a few florals around them. I think that's gorgeous. So this is obviously Cinderella. We have two different images of her. And here we have Puss in Boots. I really like these ones. Just to mention, if you didn't know already, Eriy does all of her illustrations with toothpicks, and you know, her artwork is gorgeous anyway, but it really just puts into perspective how much time this must have taken. It's absolutely amazing. This is one of the more detailed pages. There aren't many like this in the book, which you know, for some people it's a good thing, some people might prefer the detailed pages. I could see this background as being a really gorgeous vintage colour palette. It's absolutely gorgeous. I think this could probably be any princesses really that you wanted. You could make them look like different princesses if you wanted to, or keep them all the same. I'm not sure if that one has a specific theme to it necessarily. So I think here we have Sleeping Beauty, probably for both of them, I'm guessing. I really like this one. This was the same one that was on the craft card. And here I believe we have the Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Really lovely double spread, that one. And then I think here, this could either be the Wicked Witch from Snow White, or it could be the witch from Rapunzel. I'm not quite sure. This is obviously Rapunzel. And again, I think this is Rapunzel as well. I really like this one because there are flowers and stuff in the background, but it's still quite open. You could do a gorgeous bokeh background or pastel background, anything like that. It's nice that it has been left open a bit, and the details aren't too small that you couldn't go in with pastel and put stuff in. I think we have Little Red Riding Hood here. I like how the pages usually coincide as well, because you can then make the colour palette similar, or you know, things like that. And also the fact that, you know, Red Riding Hood appears twice both on these pages, but her outfit isn't exactly the same. You know, it's not the exact same shot of her, so you know, you're not going to get bored just repeating the same thing twice. I am not quite sure what this one is, because I think this is Goldilocks, but then at the same time I'm not sure it is, because obviously there's only one Goldilocks, so I'm not quite sure on what this one is actually. I'll have to have a look. This one I think is Hansel and Gretel. I absolutely love this. This would be quite a nice wintry page to do as well. I mean, you could make it for any time of the season you wanted, but this would lend itself really well to being a lovely winter page. This one, I'm not sure if it has a particular theme or not, but it's gorgeous nevertheless, and one of those that aren't too detailed. Again, I'm not too sure what this one is. Yeah, I'll have to have a look. If you know any of these, let me know. I mean, before I colour a page, I'll obviously look at what it's based on. Now, I think this one might be the Billy Goat's Gruff. Again, I could be wrong. I'm not exactly sure, but I think it's so cute, and there are so many things going on this page especially. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's so cute. And here I actually just put this in here so it stayed flat. With my order, it was an amazing ordering service. Yeah, I got some postcards by Mickey Tacky, who I believe has done the Colours Make You Happy colouring books, and these are some of her colouring postcards. So you get one that's uncoloured that you can colour, and then one that's, I think, been painted. It's absolutely gorgeous, and yeah, I just kept that in there to keep it flat. But it's always really nice when you know, in the orders, people are really thoughtful with the packaging. It came really well with some cardboard as well. I think this could be maybe Thumbelina or something, because obviously compared to the duck, she, you know, she would be, or swan, or you know, she would be quite small, so I'm not exactly sure with this one. Here we have the Snow Queen, I believe. These are gorgeous winter pages. These are going to be absolutely lovely to colour. Add some really nice snow and ice effects. This could be a number of things. I'm guessing it's the Little Mermaid, but you could make it Peter Pan, or, you know, because you have the ship and then the mermaid scene in Peter Pan. But this, I think, is Ursula's cave, so, you know, possibly it is meant to be the Little Mermaid. I wasn't exactly sure on some of these ones, but it kind of gives me Arabian Night vibes. You could make her look like Jasmine even, you know, she's got a similar kind of dress on as she does in Aladdin. Again, she kind of reminds me of Jasmine as well, but I'll have to look into what these pages are. Some really pretty illustrations here. I think this one must be Aladdin. I love all of those bottles. And we have Pinocchio. I think this might be Hansel and Gretel again. I'm not sure if this one is, but it's really nice to have more of the scene type pictures with, you know, a scene going on, and then some that are more kind of just the objects and picture things. This one's Alice in Wonderland. I really like the different dresses, the attire that the Red Queen has, and it's nice to see. You know, when you think of Alice in Wonderland, obviously you go straight to Alice and the Mad Hatter, but it's nice to have a picture based on the Red Queen. And obviously that's a very iconic shot taken from the films. It's lovely to have that one. Wasn't sure about this one, so you could probably make it whatever you wanted for that one. Jack and the Beanstalk, I believe. This one kind of had me thinking about I'm not sure if it's a nursery rhyme or a folk tale or something, or it could be a fairy tale. The chick that thought the sky was going to fall. I can't remember if I mean, it might not be. Obviously it's got Easter type vibes to it with the Easter eggs, so it's really pretty though. We have the Three Little Pigs. This one could be Thumbelina as well, so possibly quite a few pages for that one. Again, not too sure on this one. Really gorgeous though. It's a treehouse type picture. I think this one's really clever. So we have the Wizard of Oz here, which again, a really iconic, you know, scene from the film. And then this one, obviously we know who the East and the West Witch are, but we won't have seen who the North and South are, so I think it's really imaginative of Eriy to put these in, and it makes for a really interesting picture. And you know, it's nice that it's 4 separate things, and it wouldn't necessarily take you too long to colour that one. So now we're coming on to some Japanese fairy tales, I believe. So these are probably ones that Eriy knew growing up, and I think it's lovely that she's included these ones. It'll be really interesting to learn a bit of background about them, and then hopefully be able to colour them in the same colour palettes and style. Lovely. Lots of detail on these ones. And then this one is kind of a page that just rounds up everything. So this is one of the more detailed pages in the book. As you can see, we've pretty much got something from most of the fairy tales, and we have Manon. Now, I thought that the duck was called just Josette in the Romantic Country books, so maybe Hersey is one of her friends. I'm not exactly sure. But yeah, I love this page. I can just imagine this being so colourful. And you know, it might almost be a good idea once you coloured a page to then colour the corresponding character on this page as well, because then you don't have to worry about colour palettes and trying to remember them and everything. And this could be an ongoing whip page until you possibly finish the whole book. So yeah, that would be quite nice actually. I still haven't decided which will be my first page to do. I have quite a few buddy colours actually this month and a couple of whips, so I'm not sure if I'll get around to it this month. And then I believe this is Manon, and this is why I kind of got the idea that she'd done these fairy tales and made her own book, because I think she might be writing now or reading more of the fairy tale bits here, and a bit more writing as well. And then we have all the copyright information, and then here you also get some extra cutouts. So whether you wanted to write a note on them and then give them to someone, or I don't know, make them into stickers or something like that, you can colour them, and then they do have blank space on the back apart from these book ones which have the name. So this is on more of a creamier paper, and it's pretty much the same quality. It might be a tiny bit thicker, but it's pretty much the same. So we've got a Cinderella one on the book, and then a few other fairy tales. Really gorgeous. And then we've got the Alice in Wonderland as well. And then on the back, we have one of the Little Red Riding Hood scenes. on the back there. So yeah, that's the book. I love it. I'd love to know what you guys think of this. I just think that every book she comes out with is absolutely amazing, and I don't have any of her Tracing Around the World books, purely because, you know, whenever you get a book on Etsy, they are expensive, and yeah, it's something that I would really like to try. If you have tried her Tracing Around the World books, let me know. But obviously, as I've said, this is one of the normal line art, you know, it's darker than the tracing books. So yeah, I'd love to know what you think. I think it's gorgeous, and I can't wait to start colouring in it. There have been quite a few flip throughs of this on YouTube already, but I thought I would do one because it's a new book to me and it's so pretty as well. Eriy also has a flip through on her Instagram if you want to go and check that out, and she comes out with books pretty regularly. I want to say she comes out with one pretty much every year, which is quite a fast turnaround for a book, you know, with all the effort that's been put into this. So keep your eyes peeled on her Instagram, because no doubt she always puts posts up about her books sometimes, or sometimes she has a, you know, surprise post about them. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I will see you all in my next video. Bye everyone.